Look, I know you've seen online business gurus for the past 4 years promising you the world, and this is definitely not the first video like this you've watched with a sexy headline. So if you've been struggling to crack 100K a month with your agency, it's not your fault. It's because most systems that exist nowadays are just teaching what worked for them. And I don't think it's any bad intent with these people teaching that, but it's kind of like just because you copy Chris Bumstead, it doesn't mean that you're going to look like him, right? It doesn't mean you're going to become the world's best bodybuilder, but because every guru has a handful of testimonials, many of those testimonials who are also just like them, it's kind of hard to know who to trust, but you just need the right model to unlock the growth that's been right in front of you this whole entire time. So in the past 3 years, I've had the amazing chance to collect just over $3.5 million online and had the ability to buy my dream car, my dream house, my dream watch, and even had the chance to go on 16 trips in the past 12 months to places like Cancun, Cabo, Tulum, New York. But what was even cooler was raising just over $1 million for cystic fibrosis. This is my cousin's nonprofit, Camden's Corner. It's up in Jacksonville, Florida, and helping over 100 agency owners hit the 6 to 7 figure mark and going on trips with them and masterminding, and also giving my mom the opportunity to never have to work a job again. But I'm not saying this to brag because it wasn't always like this, not even close. Actually, not too long ago, I was in a situation that some of you might be in. I was drinking every weekend in college. I got $43,000 in chargebacks in 60 days. I went into debt. I was terrified I couldn't fulfill for my clients and they were going to hate me. I was still in my 9 to 5 job, and you name it, I had it. I had credit card debt, student loans, personal loans, literally everything I could have exhausted, I exhausted. Don't know how I did that. I even tried to raise capital from a venture capitalist, and they told me no, and that didn't work. So I tried a lot of quick moves, as you can imagine, to get out of this, right? Try to set and close more appointments, because that's what every guru told me I had to do, was just close more clients. I tried different ads, whether that was B2B or B2C. I even tried to change my niche and offer, because I saw all these other people, right, whether it was on the internet or my friends, making more money than me in different niches. And I was like, well, then that has to be it, because I'm smarter than them. But nothing ended up working. So I began to think, what am I doing wrong? Like, how are the top businesses in the world scaling, right? I knew I had to go to the top of the food chain, like Amazon, Acquisition.com, Nike, these big business conglomerates and gurus. Of course, they had a lot of customers, right? That's a given. Any business that big is. But their customers were willing to pay them more, right? And they're acquired for cheaper because how good their product was. Like, imagine, like really imagine this. If Hormozy, let's think about Jeff Bezos or Nike, right? So Nike or Amazon. If you were only going to pay Nike or Amazon once, how much money would they make? Not you specifically, but anybody. The reason why Amazon makes so much money is because people like me want to buy random shit on Amazon, like this random vase thing or this random sticky notes, right? And so the LTV, the lifetime value, is insane because the product is so good. People buy over and over and over again. Think about Spotify or Netflix or anything like that. People buy over and over and over again. So I began to realize, why would an agency be any different? Right? Even the top agencies have the same thing when I actually ended up thinking about it. And so think about Apple. In 2014, 2.17 million, right, with an M, new people bought Apple devices. And their revenue was 400 billion in 2024. 400 billion. So if each person were to only buy an iPhone, just one, the revenue would have been 2 billion with that customer base. But they 200x that. The reason is because Apple's LTV on average is $8,000. LTV, lifetime value, is what it means basically. And what that means is like, how much is the customer going to pay you over time? So basically, if a person is going to go pay Apple once and buy one phone, it means they're going to buy 8, right? And it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Their product keeps getting better and we're never going to leave them because there's simply no reason to. So someone's going to go buy an iPhone, then they're going to go buy an iPad, then they're going to go buy a laptop, then they're going to go buy an Apple mouse, right? And so think of Costco too. I have never in my whole entire life seen an ad for Costco or a billboard, right? But when I looked into it, they spent 100 million on ads last year, right? As us, it seems like a lot, 100 million, holy shit. But when a company does $247 billion in sales, right? That's insane because that's a 2,500x ROAS, meaning they spent a dollar, they made 2,500. That is fucking insane. And are you gonna tell me that's because they had better marketing and sales than everybody else? Yep, Costco, the greatest marketers of all time, 2,500x ROAS. Every dollar they make 2,500 with their marketing. No, we both know it's because they have better prices and products than everyone else. So people talk, right? Then people go over and over, and then those people talk to people, and then those people go over and over, right? Product-led growth. So Costco is good, it's fast, and it's cheap, which is exactly why I don't understand why these gurus just tell you all you need to do to scale is close more clients, set more appointments, and be better at sales when that's clearly a lie. So I knew that if I wanted to be making the money that these big corporations were making, I had to go to the source. Rather than copying these coaches who haven't ran an agency in years and are probably lying about their income. And I know you're probably like, well, Cole, video, you're putting agency coach? And I'll get to that in a second. Stick with me. So I went to the source, like I said, guys with PJ money, like private jets, not the ones flexing Stripe screenshots that said 100K, right? So meet Scott Schur, founder of Ultimate Software. Scott was in Forbes, the second highest like CEO that you want to work for, and basically like the second highest approval rating. he was the second best CEO to work for in 2014. So for some context, Ultimate was a software, just got acquired by the company H&F for 11 billion with a B, $11 billion. And they did $1 billion in annual revenue, like on average. So they sold six-figure packages of payroll software to companies like Google, Tesla, so they could pay their employees, right? Tesla was their client. Google was their client. Sun City was their client, which was a big solar company that Elon Musk used to be a part of. But my friend's dad, who lived in Northern California, right, like Sacramento, Rockland area, was a sales manager there. And he was so kind and humble to let me hop in a meeting with them for 17 minutes because they knew I was in shambles and I needed some help. And it changed my life. I told him all my problems and he sat there and told me two words: people and product. He told me that all these funnels, all these fancy SMS blasts, and this crazy opt-in automation was cool, right? But especially at my scale, when I'm struggling to hit 50K a month, I needed a good product and I needed good people, and that's all I need is a profit of 100K a month. He told me that I needed to go create a blue ocean, right, in my red ocean market and go back to the basics and realize what actually works. So he said, basically, be new. So he asked, what are the top guys in your industry doing to get results? Not the agencies, the actual businesses. So I was in solar at the time. So instead of him being like, what is the top solar agency doing? He goes, what is the top solar business doing? I told him, they all door knock or they all cold call. And then he told me to build out a call center, right, for my clients and copy the top businesses for my BDC clients. He was like, they're already doing it and it's working the best for them. Why don't you just do what they're doing? And he told me that human connection and talking on the phone will never fail, ever, 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 as long as you have the right talent. So realtors, solar guys, roofers, HVAC, remodeling, literally everyone cold calls or door knocks. And it works wonders, so just do it for them. He told me that they didn't care how the results were delivered. They just wanted them. And if that I could give them the results, they were never going to leave me. That most people are looking for a partner to do exactly what we do. And if that I can, and that if I could, that most people are looking for a partner to do exactly what we do. And that if I could actually deliver, I would fucking print. He told me that even they cold call. $1 billion business gets their $1 billion clients from cold calls. And then he asked, why don't people buy from you? Like, what are they saying? I said that they either don't trust me or they have to pay a fee for ad spend and a management fee. I realized that people were okay paying me or ad spend, but it was hard to find somebody that was okay with paying both. He replied, listen to your customers. They're always right and they're all that matters. In this call center model, we weren't running ads, so we would no longer have to charge our clients ad spend. And the last thing that we talked about might have been the most powerful. He asked, how much time or money do you save or make your customers? I said, honestly, Scott, not a lot. And he asked me, how much are you making? And I said, honestly, Scott, not a lot. And he laughed at me and he told me that's always how it will be. You need to directly align your values with your customers' values. And so then I introduced a model where I charged per appointment, where my values, again, were directly aligned with the customers. So if I didn't book calls, I wouldn't get paid. And I know you're thinking, pay per appointment, I've seen this, but I'm about to show you how we use this model. And basically at an average of a $24,000 LTV. So if a client was going to pay us once, they were going to pay us 24K. And so I realized the moment that your client makes less than they spend, they're going to cancel with you. They're going to churn. So the problem with the traditional retainer model is what you charge is always fixed, right? It's always going to be 2K a month, 3K a month, 4K a month, right? But the value you provide is always variable. So let's say month one, you provide a bunch of value, right? And they make a bunch, they're happy, they love you. Month two, it's the opposite. They lose money, right? That moment, right then, they cancel with you and you never have them as clients again. But when you charge per appointment or per sit, the value you provide is always variable, like we were talking about, but what you charge is also variable. So let's say month one, you don't provide as much value. Month two, you provide a lot. Month three, you provide even more. And you can capture on that value that you're providing. And so over the next 7 days, we remade our entire business, new marketing offers, back-end sales, literally everything. We went from that traditional agency model to the enterprise model with no ad spend and the pay per appointment. So I did exactly what Scott said. I delivered results for the call center, like I said, where my clients had no ad spend to pay, and I charged directly how much value I was providing. So per appointment or per sit. And it started to work insane. Like we went from 2x return on ad spend to 18x, and that was just on new cash. And it dropped our clients' cost per acquisition from $3,700 to $720. We had zero chargebacks, and we actually had LTV and referrals for once. So in around 4 months, we went from around 10K a month, churn and burn agency with chargebacks, going into debt, to 103.4K a month. So I decided to take on 10 agency owners and implement this model on top of what they were currently doing. So they had their retainer clients, right? They were spending money on ads, and then we just implemented the no ad spend, pay per appointment on top of it to see if it actually worked, or if in my situation it was just an outlier. So we had Cairo agencies, dental agencies, roofing and solar agencies, real estate agencies, even a wheels and tire agency, and here were the results. So Robert and Andres in the reverse mortgage niche went from 18K a month to 100K a month in literally 60 days.
Who last month? Rev.
In September, we did 60K. And then last month, we did actually 100 grand because Yeah.
Arjun and Jacob hit 75.8K months in the solar and HVAC niche, and this is me and Jacob on vacation. And my client John, even in the SaaS niche, went from 15 to 52K a month in 30 days. And as you can see, John right here, first 10 days of October, $100 a day in ads, so 1K in ad spend and 32K collected, 32x return on ad spend. And I went and met up with John in New York. So because of the results, right, they were good. So we started testing with another cohort. And so Ayan bought his dream car. Arya hit 10K a day. Arjun Jake did 10K a day twice. So we tried it again. Caleb and Mo hit 50K a month in the roofing niche. Derek hit 46K a month from 8K a month. Nolan hit his first 10K a month. These two 17-year-olds collected 10K in a single week and 14K in 14 days. So if you want me to help you with this one-on-one and literally guarantee you results, click link below, schedule a call, and we'll chat about it. But if you want to learn a little bit more about how it works and why it works, then stay for 5 more minutes and let me show you. But when I looked back on it, the results made so much sense. I realized most agencies in the space are charging 1 to 3K a month for fees plus ad spend. And the clients always want more leads. They think the leads are unqualified. They want cheaper leads. They see you as a middleman between their ad spend and their money. They see you as a cost, not an investment. And so they also have to pay you plus ad spend, which makes their return on ad spend low. And the prospects have always worked in an agency in the past. They got poor results. They either think ads don't work or they don't want to spend any money up front. They end up giving BS objections and ghosting. So ad cost and outreach, it's getting higher than ever. But all the coaches and gurus just told me all I needed to do was book more calls and I was going to make more money. And that clearly wasn't working for me. I was booking calls, I was closing clients. So it looked good on the outside because I was making money, but I had no profit left over. And I thought, why aren't my coaches or the gurus running an agency? If they're so good at it, they're literally so good at it, they can coach it. And the way they do it is so profitable, then where is it? Where was their high profit machine that they were teaching me to build? They didn't have one because no one shuts down something profiting them multiple 5 figures a month. And it's likely because they couldn't deliver, which is exactly why everyone just tells you all you need to do is book more calls, book more calls. And I know you're thinking, Cole, well, where's your agency? It's right here. Achilles Advertising. I'm recording this on the 22nd of January. In the first 22 days, we did $141,000 in solar and HVAC. And so let's think about it. Everyone's running the same B2C ads, right, for other clients and B2B ads to get clients. Everyone's getting the same results. The B2C ads, the ads for your clients are just getting copy and pasted, and your prospects are already seen them 100 times. So why would they click? And B2B, the same thing, and people are just saying they don't trust you or that they've been scammed before. And so I was at this conference in Scottsdale called the 8-Figure Boardroom. It was Cole Gordon's event, and I heard someone there quote Jay Abraham, and he said, there's 3 ways to grow a business. Number 1, acquire, so you get more clients, that one makes sense. Number 2, ascend, you get those clients to pay more, makes sense. Number 3, resell, you get them to buy more times, retention. And so here's how we were able to apply all 3 of these concepts, create a snowball effect of growth, get more clients to pay us more money, more times. Now, step number 1, acquire. So think about your market realistically, like as a buyer in your niche. Think about, let's say the real estate niche. Think of it like you're a realtor. You see all this noise, these crazy offers, and let's say you or your friend got scammed by an agency running ads. And so all the ads look the same with the same offer, the same guarantee, with the same pricing model, with guaranteed results that aren't actually guaranteed. Would you go buy from somebody with the same offer, with the same sales script, the same VSL, the same funnel, the same promises that they just got scammed from? I wouldn't, right? Because I obviously had a bad experience. And so if you do the same thing as everyone, you're gonna get the same outcome, which is no Ferrari and no mansion. But think about Airbnb. When Airbnb launched, the travel industry was all large hotel chains, like Hilton, Marriott, things like that, right? So how could a new small hotel chain, when nobody knows them, stand out in all the noise and saturation? It couldn't. It literally wasn't possible. So what Airbnb did is they allowed people to rent out their homes, allowing people to feel more at home than a hotel would. So they ended up hitting $1 billion in bookings in 2 years. So no small hotel could experience that type of growth that's fast. That's because they came into a saturated market, right, and made something new. And it's the same with your offer. So when we launched an offer that was results-based, we're going to book you X amount of appointments and it's going to cost Y price. Our customers were paying for a result, not a what if. You literally pay X price and you get Y result. You pay for shoes, you get the shoes. It doesn't become a question of what am I going to get anymore. It becomes less of a question of that, do I trust this person, to a very, very logistical sell and close. I'm going to pay X amount, I'm going to get Y. So I'm going to pay $4,000, I'm going to get 40 appointments. If I get 40 appointments, will I make $4,000? Do you want that or no? It becomes that easy. So close rates with this model are typically around 44% with our current agencies and partners. And when we put this offer to the market, that was even crazier, right? Our cost per book call with ads dropped in a third. And with cold outreach, we booked 3x the amount of calls with the same exact amount of outreach. And think about it, pay per appointment, no ad spend, guaranteed results, all done for you. It sounds exactly what they would want. I know what you're thinking. Pay per appointment, like do I really, really want to do this? Let's say the traditional retainer model. Let's say you provide a bunch of value month one, you get your $2,000. Month two, you don't provide that much value and they cancel. They're never coming back. You will never have them as clients, right? Let's say with pay-per appointment, you provide that same amount of value month one, you still get that 2 to 3K, right? Month two, you don't provide that much value. You still get paid $1,000. And then the next month, you can still capture even more value, right? You can make money again versus if they cancel, they're never going to come back, right? So with this model, the churn is very low and the LTV is 10 times higher. It sounds like everything both of you guys could want because the values, again, are aligned. So if you put a cheaper cost per book call with a higher close rate, you can only imagine what happens to your business, right? We went from 3x return on ad spend to 19x on cash. And so in two days, March 25th to the 24th, we spent $933 on advertising. We got 103 leads with an average of a $9 cost per lead, and we booked 60 sales calls, 30 sales calls a day, right? Our average sales call costed us around 18 bucks. Number two, get them to pay more. What we saw was because the offer was so transactional that they were paying X price to get Y result, they were way more willing to spend money up front because it wasn't a question of how the ads perform, how many leads am I gonna get, like what type of leads are they gonna be, like what is this time of the year, what cost am I gonna see, what about ad fatigue? It was like, with this model, they pay you, not the ad spend. You deliver what you said, and that's it. Right? And so Arjun and Jake did this, those two guys I was talking about earlier, and they collected 20K in a single deal, and it was a $40,000 contract value deal. They now have these clients on a 20K a month retainer, right? Same thing here, 5-minute sales call, signed and piffed, 18 grand, $18,000 in 5 minutes. This client, again, on a retainer. So when our product is actually that good, we can charge a premium price. Think of Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Lamborghini. You can attract Lamborghini clients who actually respect you and your service. We charge a premium price to a premium avatar with a premium service, not a Honda price to a Honda avatar with a Honda product. So most agencies get stuck in this cycle of they're not able to charge enough because their product's not good enough. They're not be able to charge, and then they can't hire good enough talent because they didn't charge enough. And then they're too involved, and then the client churns because they didn't charge enough, right? And so number three, get those clients to pay us more money. So when you charge per appointment or per show, we get them to pay way more, right? So let's think of a high-end example in the solar niche. The average ticket in the solar niche is 8 to 12 grand. That's how much profit they make per deal. And their average close percentage is 25%. So let's say they have four shown appointments, right? And they make 10K. That means the revenue per show they would make is $2,500, right? So how much money they make per shown appointment is $2,500 on average. So let's say we charge 1/4 of that. We charge them $600 per show, which is something we did in the solar niche. And we provide them 30 shows a day, right, for a month. That's an $18,000 package. And let's think of a low-end example, right? So the gym niche, the average 30-day cash in the gym niche, which is how much they make in the first 30 days, is $300. And they close around 60% of the people they sit with. So their revenue per show that they make is around $180. So let's say we charge half of that, $80 per show. And we deliver 100 shows a month. That's an $8K a month package. And the reason why this is so lucrative is because people pay for things when they get more value than what they pay for, like I said. And so literally, we're charging less than they're making, obviously. And the issue with the retainer way, the value provided is variable, but your fee stays exactly the same. So the moment that you have a bad month, boom, they cancel, they're gone forever. But with the pay per appointment, the value provided to what you charge is fixed, right? That ratio does not change, and your goals are perfectly aligned with the client. You're not capped at the basic 2K a month retainer. So some cases, you can charge up to 20K a month if your product is good enough to actually keep those clients. In every case, for every niche, the top businesses in your niche have call centers. I'm not talking about these $500,000 a month businesses. I'm talking about these dudes in your niche doing 100 million plus. And when I was first starting, I thought it was going to be super hard to build a call center. I didn't know how to do it, and it was going to take forever. But you can actually start tomorrow and start to see better results with your clients within 72 hours easily, and it's cheaper than you would think. And so even when Zoom was blowing up during COVID, of course they had a lot of product-led growth because the market needed that product. So, but they still cold called. So digital marketing can be good in a lot of cases, but for agencies at scale, a call center allows you to handle objections, right? Because you're on the phone talking to them. It gives your B2C prospects the chance to actually talk to somebody and they can ask questions, right? So both people can be on the same page. It allows you to qualify those leads easier because you can talk to them and ask them questions in the discovery phase. It is a higher show rate because it's a personal connection with somebody on the phone. Your call center can hear the voice inflection in your prospect's voice and understand how they're actually feeling. There's a shorter feedback loop than ads because with ads, you have to make the ads for 4 days, put them up, see if there's any actually good results, and then go make more ads. And you're building more trust, like I said, because it's over the phone and there's personal connection. But when we implemented this, our churn dropped from 87% to 4%. And since we implemented this in 2023, we've only processed 2 refunds. So it drops the cost per book call for your clients, the calls are more qualified, and they show up at a higher percentages. So those are the 3 frameworks to get a snowball effect with the enterprise model. Number 1, land clients at a 19x ROAS at scale. Number 2, charge more for the clients by a transactional offer and a premium product. Number 3, make them pay more by aligning the values and ditching ads. And this can all be done on top of your current business in any niche. You do not have to restart. You'll land clients for cheaper, make them worth more, and you'll have more capital so you can outmarket everyone else. And so if you want us to help you build and implement these machines, literally guaranteeing you an ROI and a working product, then click the link below, book a call. And for the first 3 agencies that book, we're going to be hiring your first 3 agents completely done for you, sourcing them, interviewing them, and all of that, and building out your whole dialer and tracking systems, all completely done for you. And as always, I hope y'all enjoyed. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you on the other side.